time of the year now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the week before Christmas week and this is a completely different episode to what you're used to. We usually have high production value, lots of pre-thought out content. Well, you're just going to follow my training week. I want to show you what I do in a more raw format than usual. That's why we're filming in the dark, where the quality of the image may not be so good, and I've no idea how we're going to record what I'm doing tonight. There's not going to be any of that pretty sweeping footage that you're used to, but I'm hoping that by doing things a little bit more off the cuff, you might get to know me a little bit better and actually what my training really does look like. Because we've now hit the speed phase, building up towards the Three Peaks Fell race. I said I wanted to get fast on the flat stuff, and this week it all begins. We've got a Fartlek session tonight, so I'm heading out to a football field for that. After the run, we're going to open up this package from Vega. Really happy they've sent me that, so we'll see what's in there. But before we go, we've got to get the mandatory tunes on, so what are we going to pick? Well, there's nothing like a bit of Disney to fire up for a hard session, so please don't judge me.
And this cold time's not quite the same. I wish you were here now, by the fire, stoking the flame. Can hear Santa driving the sleigh, or was it the Grinch and he got away? Kevin's alone, not acting afraid, waiting for a white Christmas, and today snowflakes falling down. It's Christmas time.
This is it, guys. No fancy track, no nice plush roads. We are just on a playing field. You can't see it because it's pitch black, but there's a football pitch just over there, and I'm going to run laps around it. We've got 8 90-second efforts at a 5k effort with 2.5 minutes easy running between each. This is just the first session of many, so it's going to build up and get harder from there. But the reason we're doing it on grass and not on something harder is A, for the joints and to protect against injury, and B, because it's going to build that speed strength. Traditionally, winter's used for cross-country season. It's done that way for a reason, so we're trying to replicate that without having to travel all the way up to Leeds just to get a race in. Right, time's getting on, so I better get cracking with this.
Been friends since 1995. Growing up, same street, you, me, my ride or die. All the years they would grow us apart, yeah.
Well, that was a great session, guys. It was only 15-minute warm-up and cool-down with 90-second efforts in between, 2.5-minute floats on each, times 8. And yet we did 7.6 miles, so very happy with that. The efforts themselves at the 5k pace were between 5.5-minute miling and 5-minute 52nd-minute miling, which is about where I'd expect to be right now. I'd like to be a little bit quicker, but that's where we are in training. What's really promising is I was going around 8.5-minute miles on the floats between each rep. I felt strong on them, I felt good, I could bounce out of them into the reps, and I could have done more reps at the end of the session, so that's a real promising sign that the endurance is starting to come through now. I want to show you what Varga has sent me, which is very kind of them, so thank you guys over there. It's actually a couple of caps. I've been wearing the same one for about 4 or 5 years now, ever since I first started running. It's a Salomon one, really breathable, and I've never been asked to come away from it. But the guys at Varga kindly sent me these out, and actually, they're really comfortable, and I quite like the look of them. I think that's how the kids are wearing them now, innit? With the little front up like that. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Saturday. I think we're going to go to Conisthorpe, so hopefully some better views than tonight. Morning guys, it's Saturday. We're just out for an 8-mile run, about half at easy effort, half at moderate. And this is a relatively short run for a weekend. But the training plan's all about speed, so we've got to evolve the whole week around those gains. And tomorrow is a really tough session. I've opted shoe choice wise on the Innov 8 x-talon 255. Reason being, they're a bit of a wider fit than the VJ iRock. It's really muddy, so I need a lot of grip. They're not quite as good on wet rock, but at least they shouldn't mash my feet up towards the end of the run. The week's coming together really nicely so far. Monday was a strength and conditioning session. Tuesday, 6 miles. You may have seen Seth James DeMoe talking about diagonals. We included some of these in that session. Wednesday, you joined me for. Cracking session that. Did take a bit out of me. Thursday's recovery run really was about recovery. Only 40 minutes. Just try and get some blood flow into the legs and get things moving. Yesterday, Friday, was another easy strength and conditioning. Then of course we've got this run today, and then tomorrow is the cherry on top of the cake. I really do have a love-hate relationship with that session, and you'll see why. Well, that's the end of the session, guys, but I made a rookie mistake. Had my breakfast really early, got delayed, and it's now almost lunchtime, so I should have had a gel or something just to get me through the end of the session. It was only an hour and 13 minutes in the end, but we did a bit more than 9 miles, and with that moderate effort in the middle, I did need something just to see me through. Really happy with the session though. We're averaging 7.5 minute miles on the moderate effort, which is kind of getting into that rhythmic breathing, but something you should still be able to hold over the marathon distance. So great to be able to be smacking them out at the moment, and it sets me up really nicely for tomorrow's cherry on top of the cake. I was really happy with the Innov 8 255s. Forgot how much fun these are to run in, especially in muddy conditions, so definitely going to be getting these out more often. But I won't be making the same mistake with the fueling tomorrow. My rule generally is anything over an hour I should be having something to eat, either just before or during the run. But you've got to allow for the fact that the harder efforts take more out of you as well. Right, catch you all in the morning. Good morning guys, it's Sunday, last session of the week, so really happy to get through the first week of this speed phase of training. We've got 3 by 1 mile efforts at a tempo effort with 3 minutes easy running between each. Important this is done on the muddy, slippery terrain, because that'll give us that strength speed work that we've been talking about earlier in the week. I credit that with my last parkrun PB back in 2018. It's important these are done at a tempo effort and that I'm not tempted to dip into my lactate threshold, because that will just ruin the whole point of the session. A little word on my knee as well. I was great yesterday after the run, but this morning I bent down to reach something and I felt a little tweak inside my knee. It's been a bit jippy since. Can't put my finger on exactly what it is. I think just a build-up of either swelling or tightness and a bit of a phantom pain. So that first rep, we're going to take it easy and just feel our way into the session. I'm wearing the Innov 8 255s again today.
Muddy course, as you can see, it's very much undulating, so we need to be getting a grip on this stuff. No camera footage of this one, guys. I want to focus, make sure there's nothing wrong with the knee and get some good form going. So I'll let you know how it's gone after the session. I also want to talk about doing back-to-back hard runs, because there's a few important points to think about before you start doing those. There we go, guys, session done. That was tough. I mentioned the term love-hate relationship. Love it for the gains and the sense of achievement after, but hate it during. It always seems to hurt. As for the knee, it seemed to hold up. We did negative splits, so I started doing 627. We were then somewhere mid 620s, and I think we were below 620 for the last rep, so that's really positive because it also has more elevation gain with every rep we do, just because of the nature of the course. But the knee, while there was no shooting pains, I can feel it. There's a bit of swelling in there, and it's worse now than it was at the start. Not painful, but I can just feel it. I'm going to jump in the ice bath when I get home, get plenty of ice on it over the next couple of days, and we've got a few easy days coming up as well, so that should help it settle down. I just want to finish off the video with two really important points. The back-to-back sessions, hard sessions that is, I've built up to this over quite a few years. The first year and a half minimum of me being coached, my coach didn't have me do back-to-back sessions at all. In fact, he didn't even have me do sessions like this. They were a lot easier until I built up a base and it was safe for me to do them without injury. I think us YouTubers are a little bit too keen to talk so openly about our training without explaining how we've got here in the first place, because I know you guys might want to jump on board with a great looking session and doing back-to-back stuff, like you might see Benny's running, for instance, doing. But you just got to think about where you are with your development and where others are with theirs. And a final thought that might be helpful for you guys, the reason I'm doing these harder sessions both at the weekend is because that's where all my time is. If you're going to take it out here, it's important you refuel properly. Now, I work from 5:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night, every single day midweek. So when I get back and I do a session, I probably don't get home till gone 7 o'clock. That gives me the opportunity to have one good meal and get refueled. This is less than ideal, especially when doing back-to-back hard sessions. At the weekend, I can do the session in the morning, I can then have lunch, I can have afternoon tea, I can have dinner, I can basically have the whole day to get plenty of nutrition in me and make sure my muscles have exactly what they need to fully recover. Anyway, guys, that's all from me today. This should be coming out on Boxing Day, I think. So I hope you had a great Christmas and have a great new year as well. And here's to a successful 2022 for us all. See you later.